The Saudi Arabian-owned farming operation grows year-round in the desert.
But Vision 2030 is not just about the future of Saudi Arabia. It's also about the betterment of the planet.
At the cost of hundreds of billions of dollars, where there is no city, no habitation of any size at all.
We believe our region is stronger when it's more secure and prosperous. And we're willing to work with anyone who shares those values: prosperity, a hub of advancement and transformation and change, a model for building a more inclusive and diverse society. This is the new Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia, a land known for its vast oil reserves, Islamic heritage, and modern cities. But it is also home to the famous Rub al Khali, one of the most inhospitable deserts in the world and also known as the Empty Quarter, which takes up close to a quarter of the country's size. At the start of the 1960s, Saudi Arabia had just 400 square kilometers of fertile land, and to sustainably farm in this desert wasteland seemed impossible due to the lack of permanent rivers and an annual rainfall below 150 millimeters. But did you know that this desert kingdom has managed to transform its barren landscape into a vast agricultural network of strange-looking fields? These fields have been specifically designed to cultivate a diverse range of crops, which can range from staple foods to even exotic fruits. It's truly astounding to witness the transformation of this desert into a lush green forest. However, this question remains on everyone's mind. How was this feat even possible? And why do their farmlands have such strange shapes? In this video, we will explore how Saudi Arabia has managed to turn desert into farmland, and why their farms have such unique shapes. It all started in 1932 when the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia was established. It was all done by King Abdulaziz Al Saud. But just a few years later in 1938 they discovered oil in the Dammam oil field, which made Saudi Arabia one of the world's leading oil producers. However, their total farmland was quite smaller than the city of San Francisco, and agriculture was confined to date cultivation and small-scale vegetable production in oases due to a scarcity of water. A country where water was scarcer than oil, their only option to confine into was farming dates, vegetables and fruits. Food for the local people was supplied by small plots, and any of the surplus was sold to caravans that passed by. But with the country's total farmland being smaller than the city of San Francisco, agriculture wasn't even a remotely viable option, raising the need for reforms and changes. In the 1970s, the Saudi Arabian government launched programs to promote modern farming techniques and technologies. They started by establishing rural infrastructure which introduced roads, irrigation networks, storages, and even export facilities. The goal was to reduce the country's dependence on oil exports and increase its self-sufficiency in food production. But how did they supply water to the crops in the midst of the barren desert? To achieve this, Saudi Arabia went deep into the underground to tap into ancient river systems buried under thousands of years of soil and sand deposits. In fact, the groundbreaking source isn't from the atmosphere or from the sea, it's from the past. If we go back 10,000 years, the Middle East was engulfed by grasslands, tropical forests, and was even saturated with monsoon rains. Along with all of this, it also had a wide system of rivers. While the Earth's climate may be constantly changing, there are always pieces of history that remain, and these rivers left channels and aquifers buried under thousands of years of soil and sand deposits. More than 200 dams collect an estimated 16 billion cubic feet of runoff annually in their reservoirs. This water is delivered to crops using a system called center pivot irrigation, which rotates around a central pivot point and uses sprinklers to ensure all parts of the field receive an equal amount of water. The flat desert terrain gives perfect conditions for this type of irrigation, and one of the main benefits is its ability to cover large areas of land with relatively little water and minimal labor required to operate it. Additionally, these systems can be fitted with sensors, weather monitoring equipment, and GPS systems to optimize irrigation and adapt to weather conditions. Interestingly, this method gives their farm fields their peculiar, almost futuristic-looking circular shape. The system is equipped with a series of sprinklers that are positioned along the length of the pipe that rotates to ensure that all parts of the field receive an equal amount of water. By 1984, Saudi Arabia had become completely self-sufficient in wheat production and even exported wheat to over 30 countries. They also donated thousands of tons of dates each year to relieve famine and food shortages, second only to the United States with their contributions to the World Food Program. Despite their success, Saudi Arabia still has to conserve water, and they have managed to recycle up to 40% of the water used for domestic purposes. They have gone to great lengths to ensure sustainability, opening numerous desalination plants to convert seawater into potable water, producing nearly 3 million cubic meters of water daily, which is equivalent to 3 billion 1-liter bottles per day. This makes them the #1 producer of desalinated water in the world. The country's largest desalination plant is the Shuaibah 3 desalination plant, which is capable of producing up to 600,000 cubic meters of water per day. In addition to traditional crops, Saudi Arabia has also started to grow exotic fruits like mangoes, bananas, and guavas, along with raising livestock and fisheries. They have even implemented aquaponics, which combines aquaculture and hydroponics to grow vegetables and fish together in one system. In conclusion, Saudi Arabia has managed to turn its desert into farmland by utilizing modern farming techniques and technologies, tapping into ancient water sources, and conserving water resources. They have transformed their agricultural industry, reducing their dependence on oil exports, and increasing their self-sufficiency in food production. With their continuous efforts to ensure sustainability, Saudi Arabia has become a leading example of how to turn arid lands into fertile farmlands. And they don't intend to stop there. Last year, the Saudi Arabian Minister of Environment, Water and Agriculture noted that agricultural investments in Saudi Arabia have grown over the past 4 years by a staggering 400%, creating support for research projects aimed at producing new food crops to increase harvest and develop plant strains with greater resistance to pests. Technological advancements are expected to play a key role in the future of Saudi Arabia's agriculture. One idea under consideration is utilizing Saudi Arabia's west coast and its proximity to the Red Sea to expand the total farmable area under their territory. Even with the existing and developing technology, it's still no small feat. It remains to be seen now just how large-scale these terraforming projects can grow, but we are seeing huge potential and possible new methods of farming emerging in the near future. Did you hear about Muqab, another Saudi Arabian project which is going to be a key to Saudi's future? It's an enormous structure taking shape in the vast expanse of the Saudi Arabian desert. It's not a skyscraper or a stadium, but a colossal box stretching over 4 football fields and big enough to hold 20 Empire State Buildings. You can see more about it in our previous video. Let us know in the comment section down below what you think about Saudi Arabia and their technological advancements. As always, thanks for watching our video. See you in the next one.